1. Have a clear vision. Well, imagine for a moment that this life was a Hollywood movie and you are the star and it's your time now. Now you would say, Vinay, this is not a movie. But let me ask you, my friend. It's only because you can see me. It's only because you can see this world. It's only because you can experience it. What happens in a movie? It's only because you watch a movie, right? So similarly, you are watching this life. Imagine if you are watching this, you are in this movie of God and you are the star and it's your time now. Imagine for a moment, right? Now, imagine if God gave you a magic power. You can have whatever you want. It's like God's power given to you at the time of birth. You can have whatever you want, my friend. And you will say, Vinay, this is not possible. Well, can you just leave this possible, not possible to nature, God, universe? Let's look at what this machine is. Imagine if you buy a mobile, a new mobile, and if you don't know its features, maybe you use the mobile for, 10 years and then you just throw mobile away, but you did not knew its features. You just used this mobile for 10 long years. You did not knew its features. It could have done so many great things. But I will ask you, have you read your own manual? What does this machine, how does this machine work? What can this machine do? So let's uncover that. So let me ask you, do you believe in miracles, my friend? Well, imagine for a moment, you went to a new planet. So you had a good amount of time on this planet Earth. You said, okay, I want to go for a fun ride, maybe enjoy someday out in some other planet. How would that be, right? So you said, Vinay, can you just lend me your rocket? So I said, okay, you can take away my rocket. So you took away my rocket and you went to a new planet, completely new planet. And you went over there and you became a timeless creature, which means that age was no more a barrier for you. You became timeless, no aging, nothing. And you then thought that, okay, let me just relax and have some fun. Let me just put my chair over here and let me enjoy for the coming few years, maybe few thousand years. So you just sat on that land. It was a new planet, absolutely, a plain surface, ground, nothing over there, only rocks and soil, right? Now, thousands years passed, 1,000 years passed, nothing happened. You were just sitting there enjoying, chilling over there. And then all of a sudden you saw that, all of a sudden there was a tree, which came out from the ground. And then you saw one more tree which was coming out of the ground. And then these trees, they started giving some fruit. Somebody, some tree was giving a red fruit, some tree was giving a yellow, some orange, some green. And you really liked that. You said, this is like great, man. There was nothing over here. Over a period of 1,000 years now, this planet has started giving me fruits. Then 1,000 more years passed. All of a sudden, what you see is that the surface, the soil, changes its shape and it becomes a rabbit. Isn't that going to be amazing, man? Plain surface, soil turning into rabbit. Then 1,000 more years, passed and then it became a horse. And guess what? Then lion also appeared on that planet. Now you are actually, having a good time. First the trees appeared, then the rabbit, then horse, and then, this lion also came. And then you were just sitting there and 1,000 more years passed. And guess what? Now comes the human. The human also appeared on that planet. If all this was happening, will that be a miracle, my friend? Will you call that a miracle or not? Now, if you look very carefully, that's what has happened on this planet Earth, isn't it, right? Now, imagine 500 years ago, if somebody talked about a mobile phone, that, mobiles will be coming and you can talk to any person on any part of the world, people would have said it is not possible. People would say about aeroplanes just the same thing. 200 years ago, if somebody said that aeroplanes would come and people could fly very easily, people would say it's not possible. Guess what? People could have refused the idea of a bulb also few hundred years back, because people, humans, we lived without electricity for so long here, right? Will that be a miracle for all those people today? Obviously, right? So people did not believe in these things at that point in time. And for today, for us, it's just like a normal norm. But this would have been a miracle, right? And so miracles is what is we can actually discover everywhere. So everywhere you see is a miracle. You eating a piece of bread and that bread turning into you is also a miracle, right? Now think about it. You might have heard of some of these books. Now, I want to show you some of these books, and I personally, I have some of these books, which is the Think and Grow Rich, which is the Power of Subconscious Mind. So I want to tell you about these books. Just have a look at these books. Think and Grow Rich, The Science of Getting Rich, As a Man Thinketh, and The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Now, these books are telling you about some of your parts. I have not written these books, right? But I'm just telling you, I'm just decoding this in front of you that these are your powers. So these books are telling about something. Now it's written in the Bible, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be opened to you, right? Matthew 7.7. Now you can go and check it out, right? Now there's this book by Karma, which is by my guru, which is Sadhguru, A Yogi's Guide to Crafting Your Destiny. You can craft your destiny. This book is talking about. Now let's find out. If you can craft your destiny, if it's written in the Bible, yeah, that you can have whatever you want, ask it and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be open to you. If it is written on the Bible, let's find out. Do you have really some power or not? You have any power or not? Let's figure this out. Maybe you have some parts. Maybe you did not know your user's manual. So let's check this out. My friend, you will have certain beliefs till now. I understand that. And those beliefs, guess what? Your results are they're not good, not bad. They're just your results basis the beliefs you carried, and we are now trying to go for major success, which means we want a lot of money. But this is all part of that. Do not think that I'm trying to take you to some spiritual path. I have no such an intention, right? So my intention is to get you to loads of money, boatloads of money. But how can we do that? Is through the right sequence, through the right algorithm, through the right code, right? So warning, this is very potent information which can change your life instantly, my friend, just like this, right? And you have a choice to accept it and you have a choice to reject it. The information which is coming to you is so potent and you have all the choice to accept it or to reject it. Well, guess what? I suggest you do none of these and put it to test. How about that? Do not accept whatever I'm saying. Do not reject also whatever I'm saying. You put it to test. And I will actually go by like a scientist proving you that whatever I am saying is right. Because this is something which I have lived and this is something which I know, which is true for you and which will change your life. Now, so the big question is, who are you? If you have some powers, then who are you? Let's think about it. Now, Swami Vivekananda said that we are what our thoughts have made us. So, take care about what you think. Words are secondary. Thoughts live and travel far. Well, my friend, you are always thinking, a human mind has so many thoughts in a second that you can't even imagine. It's around, 60 to 70,000 thoughts you can have in a very short period of time. And over a period of day, you have so many thoughts, so many thoughts, which are all unconscious thoughts. Now, there was this experiment which was done on water. Right? I just wanted to point this out to you. So this was an experiment which is done on water. So if you look over here, right, at this figure, you'll see these are the water molecule before offering a prayer. And this is the, water molecule after offering a prayer. So when the prayer was offered to the water molecule, it changed its molecular structure. Think about it. It means that prayer is just a thought. And with thought, the water changed its molecular structure. Now think about it. When you give thank you to the water, it changed its molecular structure to this level. When you make you make me sick, I will kill you kind of a words to a water, it changed to this molecular structure. And when you give love and appreciation, it changed to this molecular structure. So what does this mean? I'm showing you this. Well, your body, my friend, is 70% water. This is scientific, right? So if your body is water. If water is actually responding to thoughts, think about it. Your body will also respond to thought. Well, let me give you an example. Think about it. If you actually shout or yell on anybody else, guess what? Your body actually, your BP increases. You also start feeling uncomfortable. Why? Because you created a thought which is not creating harmony in your own system, right? So the thoughts, they have some impact on you. Now, Swami Vivekananda said, arise, awake and stop not until the goal is reached. What does that mean? Well, let's find out. Do you have any power or not? Let's understand more about it. Swami Vivekananda is saying, arise, awake and stop not till the goal is reached. Well, maybe he's trying to tell you about your powers, which I'm also trying to tell you. Now look at it. This is a vast cosmos. And let's see what's happening. Right? So you can see all the planets, no strings attached. They are going in perfect symmetry, perfect geometry around the sun. The orbit of the earth is also not elliptical. So yet you will see that there are no deviations on this path. What do you think, my friend? This is happening as per some design? Or do you think this is just happening accidentally? Well, of course, right? You can't say this is happening accidentally. There is some design to this cosmos. Now, Nikola Tesla said, he's a world famous scientist, and he said that if you want to find the secrets of this universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. What does that mean? Let's try and understand that what is Nikola Tesla trying to tell us that, think in terms of energy, frequency and vibration. And this is very important for you to understand, my friend. Now think about it. If you look at a flower, right? Now the flower might be, a rose or any other flower. So you see that it's a red color flower. But if you put the same flower, which is under the microscope, you will see that the same flower looks like, they are just microorganisms which are visible. It's there are some vibrations which are there. Now, what does that depict is that everything in this cosmos is vibrating. Everything is energy. And this is something which is scientifically proven. Now science is saying, quantum mechanics is saying that everything is energy. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So you, me, a cat, a dog, everything is just energy. And energy is vibrating at a different frequency. So whatever you see is actually vibrating at a different frequency, and it is vibrating so fast. And an experiment was done, somewhere in 1960s to prove that we are vibrating at a very fast speed. Now, if you look at your hand, it looks like, a stable hand. But if I have to give a very close example to you, think about it. Think about a movie. When you watch a movie, you think that the character is moving in the movie. But what is happening is that there are 28 frames which actually pass from the, eyes of your, in front of your eyes. And when 28 frames pass so quickly and fast, well, guess what? It appears for you as if it's just a moving movie. Same happens with the animation films, these cartoon films. Similarly, this life, what you see as moving, is basically different frames. Think about it. And these different frames are so fastly, going in front of your consciousness that you feel it's just a static life, whereas it is just a movement to movement, movement to movement, movement to movement. It's just passing by moment to moment. Does it make sense? I know this is complex, but think about it. Essentially, everything is energy, right? Now, when you look at a flower, because your eyes, they have a limited wavelength. They have a limited wavelength and they perceive whatever they can see within that wavelength. Now, if you put a microscope in this room, probably you will see there are a lot of microorganisms in the air as well. What does that mean? It means that the way we look at this universe is what these limited eyes, because of the limited range we have, wavelength, we are perceiving this reality the way it is. But it is not the ultimate reality, because if you look from the eyes of a different lens, the reality would look completely different. Now, let me give you one more example. Now, right now, you are listening to me, okay? And you might be figuring out that, what is this guy saying, is he trying to mislead me or is he telling the truth? Well, I'm telling you 100% truth. This is written in our Vedas. This is what yoga means. Yoga means union. Union means when you realize that you are one with the cosmos. So I'm telling you, you are one with the cosmos. So imagine, right now, you are listening to me. But are you also listening to maybe lakhs of other sounds which are there in your room right now? You will say no. Why? Because your ears, they can only hear to a limited frequency. Now imagine there are lakhs of phone numbers. The frequency of every phone number is actually passing by, in your room. There are so many satellite channels. There are so many FM radios. Every frequency is there in your room. But your ears, they have a limited range. Now, when you use a apparatus, which is like a mobile or a radio or anything, what happens is that it converts back that frequency into your audible frequency wavelength so that you start hearing it. You see, everywhere is just frequency and vibration. But when you change it to match your senses, then you perceive it happening in your reality. Otherwise, the frequencies are still there. The sounds are still available in your room. It's only that you can't hear it. But if you can't hear some sound, it does not mean that there is no sound. There is sound, right? Now, we are always perceiving this reality with limited senses. So whatever senses we have, they are all limited. So how do we perceive the reality? Well, you do it through your five senses. And let me tell you which are these five senses. And you probably know this, right? So you have these five senses, which is the seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touch. These are the five senses you have, right? But these are like perceptors. Imagine, think about it, that you are seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching, but they need mind to make out the sense of it. Imagine if you are you are sleeping and your eyes are open. Think about it. Will you see anything? Well, the answer is no. Even if your eyes are open, but because your mind is sleeping while you are sleeping, you will not see anything. You will not feel anything. Even if you are sleeping in deep sleep, and even if somebody is, saying any words near you, you will not be able to recognize it because your mind is sleeping. So which means that these sense organs, they need mind to make sense out of it. Does that make sense, right? So you have a mind which is always making sense out of it. Now, some people confuse brain with mind. When I say mind, do not think of brain. Brain is just one organ. You can think from any part of your body as well, right? So you have a mind, which is a much bigger thing. Brain is not mind. But since nobody has seen mind and we want to understand this game, let's create a picture of, this mind. How does that mind looks like? Just for the understanding's sake. So let's assume a figure for mind, right? And let this be your mind at birth. So whenever anybody is born, you will see we have no data in our mind. A person who's born is just the same. All of us, when we are born, we had no data, and all of us, we were just the same. Does that make sense, right? So we all were, we all came to this universe just, wondering what has happened to us, and we had this curiosity and so much of excitement. We had a subconscious mind which was open at that point in time, where everything and anything which was, taught to us by anyone who was near to us was straightly going into our subconscious mind, my friend. Now, we started perceiving, this entire world based on the environment we lived in and based on these five senses, which is the eyes, ears, nose, taste and touch. And then we started making sense out of it. Now, that went straight into our subconscious mind at that point in time, right? Does it make sense? Are you, getting along with me? I want you to take notes. I want you to actually share these notes with me in the comment section, my friend. This will help you retain and this will help me understand what is that, are you been following me or not? Now, child starts to create beliefs at the very young age, right? The child starts to create belief. Now, what are these beliefs? Beliefs like, what is the name? So let me ask you, what's your name? Well, you might say, my name is Vinay Sharma, Vinay Gupta, Vinay Thakur, Vinay Asthir, Vinay Khan, Vinay Matthew, whatever you say, right? Now I want to ask you, when did you become Vinay Sharma or Vinay Khan or Vinay Asthir or Vinay Matthew or Vinay Gupta? When did this surname came in? Well, you will say, my parents told me that your name is, surname is Sharma or Gupta or Khan or Matthew or whatever it is, right? And who told them? Well, you will tell maybe their parents told them that you are Sharma or Asdhir or whatever it is, right? And who told them? Well, it's their parents. And who told them? Their parents. But if you go like this, my friend, you will understand that you are carrying a wrong identity. Why I'm saying that? Well, if you keep on going, a layer back and back and back, you will see that we were all monkeys, right? God created only monkeys. We had no name. For social reasons, we actually gave names to ourselves. That's fine. But we should also realize that these are the names for social reasons. This is not really me. Whereas what is happening is people are actually getting very rigid to their caste, religion, name. But I have proved it to you because you were neither Sharma, nor Gupta, nor Asdhir, nor Khan, nor Matthew, nothing. You were just a human being, right? And you actually graduated from monkeys. Monkeys became, early men. Early men became humans. So whatever your name is, you have taken a limited identity. What I'm telling you is that you are limitless and you are God's highest form of creation. Think about it. You have a unique thumb impression. You have unique retina scan. You have unique DNA. Out of more than 8 billion people on this planet Earth, you are completely unique, my friend. You see that? Now, when we are very small, we are just young, we are child, people tell us that this is your name and we actually imbibe that name. Okay, I'm this. And they tell us this is your family, this is your country, this is your, this is good for you, this is bad for you, this is possible, this is not possible, this is impossible, these are the fears you need to have, and what are the limitations you need to live with. You can't have this much of money, you can't have this much of wealth. All these things, they get programmed to us. And guess what? Then, when we actually reach to the age of 8 to 12 years, our conscious mind, which is the reasoning mind, it starts to develop. And when the reasoning mind starts to develop, well, what happens is that we form a human personality. We create our beliefs and we lock those beliefs into our mind. And then we say, this is possible for me and this is not possible for me. And we become very, very, very rigid on that. And guess what? An image of self is created in your subconscious mind. And this is happening with everybody, right? So anybody who's making a lot of money, or somebody who's just doing a mediocre job, or somebody who's just very poor, basis their environment, right? They create their own thinking of what is right, what is wrong, what is possible, what is not possible. Think about it. That's why there are different beliefs. Somebody who's living in a village will have completely different beliefs. What's possible in his life, what's good, what's bad, what's his name, what's his country, what's his caste. Does that make sense, right? And somebody who's living as a doctor, somebody who's living as a software company, as a software engineer, will have completely different beliefs. Now, let me ask you, will you agree with me that if you take a very small child Maybe take yourself, right? Now, if you actually were, when you were born, if you were taken into some different country, into some different religion, into some different, language speaking community, you would have grown up to become completely different person, my friend, right? Do you see that? You would have become a completely different person, completely totally different personality, a different name, a different country, a different religion, a different language you would be speaking. Why? Because you would have been programmed into something completely different. What is right now happened to you is that you have also been programmed into certain things, which is fine, for living in this world for social reasons. But we are talking about great success. We are talking about you because we want to go for massive success, and I want to help you break free and go for major success. I hope you are following me, and I'm telling you just like a scientist. Right now, we have a conscious mind, we have a subconscious mind, and mind is connected to body. Imagine if you have to just lift anything, your mind has to give the signal to the body. Your body cannot move. Those people who go in coma, what happens? Their mind stops giving signals to the body, hence the body stops to respond. So your mind is very important. Now let me ask you right now, how much of your life do you think are you controlling at this point in time? Well, whatever your number is, think about it. Are you, you are blinking right now. Do you have any contribution in this? By this, I mean to say that, are you actually intentionally doing anything to blink your eyes? Well, none, right? And, you are breathing, constantly. Do you have to do anything to breathe? Well, no. Your heart is pumping, your liver is working, everything is going, my friend. Do you have to do anything in that? No. Well, who's taking care of that then? Well, it's your subconscious mind, which is in direct relation, which is in direct contact with the universal power, which runs and governs your entire show. But you have a conscious mind as well, right? Now, which is a developed mind, which is a reasoning mind. And this mind is actually connected to your body, right? Now, basis this, what happens is that your mind gives signals to your body, okay? And your body then takes certain actions. And basis those actions, you get certain results. Okay, this is pretty simple. Now, the results you are getting are as per the image of our subconscious mind. So whatever image you have created of yourself, what is possible for me, what is not possible for me, you created your own results by holding an image in your mind. Let me prove this to you. Now, you create your own life, and let me show you your magic. We are talking about your power right now. What do you see? Can you see some picture in this frame? Let me just enlarge it. What do you see? Most probably you'll say that, you see an old man and an old woman, right? Now, let me just enlarge this even further. Do you see? Look closely, my friend. There was no old man and there was no old woman. Why did I show you this picture? See, our mind, when anything happens in front of you, our mind actually goes into our memory bank and thinks about what's the closest resemblance of any picture or any movement or any information, and then it brings out the inference and creates your reality. Okay. Now, everything is made up of 5 elements. So similarly, if somebody who has seen anything, different of this nature, next time when he sees this picture, he will create a different, picture in his mind. Now, you created a picture of old man and an old lady because that was something which was closer to your, memory. Now, everything is made up of 5 elements. Okay. This is something which is being said by science, which is being said by yoga. So whatever we are discussing is we are discussing as per logic, proof. It's just like we are going like a scientist to change your life, my friend. Now, everything is made up of these 5 elements, which is the earth, fire, air, water, ether, right? Now, everything is energy. And energy is all which is there. Whatever you perceive this world from your 5 senses is what your perception is. The reality is something different. Everything is frequency, which is vibrating, and everything is just energy. That's what Nikola Tesla said. Now, if you look at all these, different species, there are trees, there is cat, dog, deer, tiger, and humans, right? You will see something which is common. There is the same force that runs all. Do you see that? There is a life in all of them. Every species, every living being, they grow, they become young, they become old, and then they die, they decay, and they go back into soil. Do you see that? So it's basically the soil which is actually creating all the magic. So that soil is creating the magic all the time. Now, all have a body and mind. We all have a body and mind. Think about it. Like we just discussed that example. If you were taken to a different country, living in a different family, speaking a different language, guess what? You would completely become a different human being. Why? Because your mind would have been programmed in a completely different way. Think about a cat. If a cat looks at a dog, the cat will have fear. This dog might hurt me. And if the cat looks at a mouse, the cat will have greed. Let me eat this mouse. Now, similarly, all these, species, they have a body and a mind. Now, you might say, I can't see the mind of a plant. That's fine. If you can't see the mind of a plant, but you can't see the mind of yours as well, right? So, the mind works around two things: the memory of the past and imagination of the future. Imagine, if today you lose all your memory, there will be no imagination, my friend. Your imagination is based on your memory, which is the past. Now, the past does not exist, but it is just your memory, right? So the mind works on whatever is being fed into it. So whatever your personality is, whatever your beliefs are, is based on your memory. You were taught certain things, and those things you've been behaving in a certain way, right? Now, and it creates its own fears and desires based on wherever you were living. So if you were living in somebody which was which was like a film star's family, you would say, I want to become a film star. If you were living in some businessman's family, you would say that, building a business involves risk, and risk is good. And if you are, somebody like me who has lived in, say, maybe a middle class family, you will say that, building a business is risky, because that's what you've been hearing all the time. You have not taken any risk, but you've been hearing all the time. So it creates its own fears and desires. Now, all have fears and desires. Can you see that? Right? Every creature, they have a fear and desire. Only as human, you have the access to this source called life. This is what, yogis have been telling us. This is what I'm telling you. If you look at any other creature, look at all these species, apart from human beings, all those species, they live between two lines of survival, which is like the baseline and the upper line. And that line doesn't has that much of, variation. So most of these creatures, for them, filling their needs, which is food, which is the basic need, and then they are just happy. If they are getting their food, if they are getting their meal, they are at peace and they will just live by their lives. But when you come as human, the food is no more the necessity. Now you want many other things. Why? Because you have the access to this imagination, this memory, and also to this source, which is called as life. That's why they said that you can access this spirit and you can actually become great. Now, when you ask anything from that source, you can call that source God, you can call that energy, you can call that universe, whatever you might call it, my friend. Whenever you ask it, you are granted that. And how can you ask it? Well, you can ask it from your thoughts, from your thinking, but most people ask for troubles. They are not asking in the right way. Now, let me prove this to you. Now, how to ask them? You think in pictures, okay? So you always think in pictures. Let me prove it to you. Now, what I want you to do is that please close your eyes for a moment. Thank you. I hope you have done that, and I hope you are paying very close attention now. Please close your eyes. Now, do you have a car? What color is it? Think about its color. Okay, so I hope you've done that. So how many doors does your car has? Think about it. Thought about it? Okay. Now, please continue. Have your eyes closed. Think about your favorite color. Which is your favorite color? Think of your favorite food. Which is your favorite food? Think about your favorite animal. Which is your favorite animal? You can open your eyes for a moment, right? Now, there are only multiplications and additions in your mind. Now, when I was actually asking you, think about do you have a car? What color is it? How many doors it has? Every time I asked a question, an image of that, car came to your mind. Guess what? When I asked you that, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite animal? The image of those animals came to your mind, or that food or that color, it came to your mind. You think in pictures all the time, right? Now, because it happens at such a speed, great speed, you don't observe this. And there are only multiplications and additions in your mind. Let me prove it to you. Close your eyes once again, right? Now, let me show you how your mind works. Now, think of a lion, right? Create a picture of a lion. Think of a horse. Create a picture of a horse. Do not think of a monkey. Don't create a picture of a monkey. Now, guess what? When I said don't think of a monkey, still the image of the monkey, it came to our mind. So do you see the monkey mind? Our mind keeps jumping from one idea to other, and we are always creating conflicting pictures. So in a way, when you ask something from God many times, most people, when they ask something from God, they say that God, I hope I don't have to go through this, maybe bad times. Guess what? They're thinking about bad times. That's what they are creating. And this is the first, step, which is to, what do you really want? So you have to actually ask correctly, what do you really want? On the contrary, people are asking what do they really don't want, and that's what is creating all the havoc in their lives. Now, what we need is a focused action. So, anyone, whoever does that gets success. Now, think about it. Any actor, any athlete, anyone who had a very clear intention, he had that belief and he had that picture in his mind, he got major success and really fast. Do you see this now? Do you see the correlation? So when you focus your thoughts in form of pictures and create an emotional feeling about that and take action in faith, you change your vibration to match the result you want in life. This is the biggest secret of your life, my friend. Does that make you excited? Just drop me a like. If you are excited, drop me a comment what you are thinking right now, because whatever I'm telling you is 100% true and it will change your life very fast, my friend. Now, when you create, when you focus your thoughts in form of pictures and create an emotional feeling about that and take action in faith, you change your vibration to match the result you want in life. This is the biggest secret of your life, my friend. This is your gift given to you at birth and you were born for greatness. God wanted you to have an amazing life and this is what you had from the birth. Now, you would have heard about law of attraction, you would have heard about NLP and so many other techniques. This is what it is. When you think in clear pictures, you actually change the vibration of your body, because your body is constantly energy, it's in vibration mode, and it's you can raise its frequency. Now, Swami Vivekananda said, a man is not poor without a money, but a man is really poor without dreams and ambitions. That's what I would tell you. You need to have dreams, and if you have dreams, you can have whatever you want in this life, my friend. This life is like your dream. Let me prove it to you. Think about it. Now, imagine if you had a dream. So you need to imagine now with me. You were sleeping, right, in your house, and you bought a new car in your dream. But in your dream, it feels like as if you bought a new car. And so you are really happy and excited. And I came to you and I said, okay, friend, you bought a new car. Yeah, you have a new car. Okay, give me party. And you said, okay. So we went in your car. We started out to go for a restaurant to have a party. So there was a road, there were signals, there were trees, there was clouds. And then we reached the restaurant. And when, we reached the restaurant, we parked our car, we had an amazing pizza and we had a good time. Now over there, I'm telling you, wake up, man. This is your dream. This is your dream. What will you say? Well, in a dream, if I tell you that it's a dream, you will say, no, it's not a dream, man. This everything which is here, I'm fine. And you will not agree with me. Will you agree with me? Now, similarly, if I tell you at this point in time that you are in dream, will you agree with me? Well, you will say, no, Vinay, I'm not in dream. But guess what? In that dream, next day, what will happen? When you next day wake up, next day you realize it was a dream. So there is no new car, there is no me, there was no restaurant, there was no pizza, there was no party. But let me ask you, in your dream, you saw everything and you felt it to be real. And there was one you and there were all the other things. So what were all the other things? Well, it was a projection of your mind, right? It was a projection of your mind. Similarly, this life right now, what you are seeing is just a projection of your mind. Think about it. Now you would say, but I can see that, I can feel that. Yes, that's what would happen in the dream also. You can see that. Now the difference is that this is your living dream and you can control this. While you are sleeping, you can't control that dream. But here with your actions and with your intent, you can actually, move this life into whichever direction you want. Think about it. Now you might be thinking, Vinay, what is this? You are talking about miracles. Yes, it's always a miracle. You are living in heaven. That's what I'm telling you, my friend. And isn't this a good news, or isn't this something you need to be worried about? Well, you should be happy because you got the key, my friend, and the key was always there. You did not just tap into this. Now, Albert Einstein said that the intuitive mind is a sacred gift and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. I'm telling you that this is the gift you already had. Now, what happens with most people? Imagine if you ask a seed that one day you will become a big tree, what will seed say? Seed will say, no, this is not possible. I can't become a tree. But what the seed needs to do is just get planted and the nature will take care of it and it will transform into a tree. Do you agree with me? But still what happens is that most of the people, they put ceiling on themselves. They say, no, this is not possible for me. Guess what? The moment you say this is not possible, you created a picture. And that picture sent a message to this universe and then you self-sabotaged your dream. But what you need to do is just remove that ceiling and you will see to grow as a tree. Now, how tall would the tree grow? The tree would grow as tall as possible. Does that make sense, right? So the tree would have no ceiling. But if you imagine if we put that seed in a small pot, we want a tree to grow in that small pot, what will happen? Will that oak tree or any other tree for that sake, if you put a seed in a small pot, will that tree become that big? No. That's what happens with human. We are actually placed in our societies, in our families, in our surroundings. So if your surrounding is something where you are not surrounded by big people, huge people, or rich people for that sake, guess what? You will become only what your surrounding is, my friend. You will become what your surrounding will say, what is possible for you and what is not possible for you. So be very mindful. There's a study which says that you are some average of 5 people you hang around with. So you need to be very careful while hanging around and choosing your friends, because they will actually impact your mind and the way you think and the way you create your pictures and the way you create your reality. And this will change, over a period of time. So whatever you think, you create same results. So your results are not good, not bad. I'm telling you, whatever your situation right now is, the good news is it's just it's just a situation. It's not good, not bad. You took certain actions and you got certain results, my friend. Now, guess what? Think about it. You have been worrying a lot about your actions if you are not getting great actions. You have been thinking in the opposite direction, and that's why, that was happening. But you also had one belief that God help me in changing my life. That's why you reached here, because that's why I say there are no accidents in this life, my friend. Now, think about it. Everything, this is like scientifically taken short of the human body. We have this thing called as, you can say, aura, right? And this is the human energy field, which is being taken by the camera sensors, right? Now, if you look at this graph, okay, this graph talks about the vibrational scale of consciousness. So all of us, we are vibrating. Most of the people, they are vibrating over here, in this frequency of fear, desire, anger, pride, courage, neutrality. Most of the people, they are somewhere here and they just fluctuate between this. It's only when you have complete faith that you will actually rise in love, joy, peace, enlightenment, and then you realize your powers, right? Now, what is this vibrational scale of consciousness? So what does this say? Emotions is equal to energy in motion. Energy vibrates at a certain frequency. The law of vibration activates the law of attraction. So when you vibrate, you become in harmony. It's like, if you throw a stone in a glass of water, what will happen? There will be ripples. You'll see the waves. Now, if you throw a stone in maybe in a well, will you still see the waves coming up in a well? Well, obviously, right? If you throw a stone in the river, will you feel that there are ripples in the river? Well, yes. If you throw a stone in the ocean, my friend, don't you think there will be ripples? Now, you might not notice them, as visibly possible, but there are, right? So similarly, your thoughts, when you throw a thought to this universe, it's like it creates a ripple. Now, you can't see that, but it does not mean that it does not exist. So your thought changes your vibration and you start attracting things, people, everything as per what you in accordance to your belief system. And that's how you attract your luck or bad luck or whatever it is in your lives, right? So okay, so let this red dot now represent your present situation, right? So your present situation is just is. Now imagine if you want to create a new life for yourself. That's what we are talking about. We're talking about 6 steps to success. Why am I giving you all this knowledge? I want you to change your life. If I don't tell you this thing, my friend, whatever you do, if you don't change your your image of self-image of what is possible for me, nothing will work for you. So now let this green dot be your desired situation. So first of all, the question is, what does it really look like, my friend? Have you created a picture? Because you think in pictures and you send the message to this universe in pictures. So what is the picture? What's the kind of house you want? What's the kind of car you want? What's the kind of, other things which you want? You have to be very clear on your goal, my friend. Now, whatever your goal is, there will be people who are living above that goal as well, who are vibrating at a much higher frequency and they are attracting much more success. And there will be people for whom, your life is also aspirational. They are probably looking at you and thinking that, this would be my dream life, right? Now, there are 3 ways people set goal. Why is this difference of, happening? Somebody is aspiring to be having this much kind of result, somebody having more results. Why is this difference happening? Now, there are 3 ways people set goals, right? I want you to understand this because this will help you realize that where are you and how you can actually improve your goal setting. Now, there are 3 ways how people set goals. Number 1 is most of the people, 70 to 80% of the people, they know that they can have it and it's comfortable and they'll just set that goal. Let me give you an example. Somebody, who's having an average kind of a job, for him, maybe getting a bike is easy, right? He knows he can afford a bike. And every time he sets a goal that, okay, when the bike gets old, he says, okay, I want to go for upgrade for a new bike. And he just goes for a similar kind of a bike, right? So this is 70 to 80% of the people. That's why you see so many people, they are poor. They are poor only because they are poor over here, my friend. Now, there are aspiring, 20% of the people, 20 to 30%. And if you are here, you are in those 20 to 30% people who are aspiring to change their lives. Now, they are aspiring for more, but still focus on incremental growth. Right now, most of the people will tell you that you can have maybe 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh rupees a month. I would not put any ceilings on you, my friend, because there were no ceilings from God. Is there any ceiling for you to have? What's the amount of oxygen you want to have? What the amount of breeze you want to have? No, right? So similarly, there was no limit on you for wealth, and wealth is available in abundance for everybody. If you make money, does not mean that somebody else will not make money, my friend. So there. So 20 to 30% people, they are aspiring, but they are still going for very less results. Imagine, somebody who's maybe, who's have maybe a Honda City. He has a good car. He aspires for maybe a next level. Maybe he says that, okay, I can only go from Honda City to maybe a next upgraded version of Honda City, or to maybe some other car which is just nearby. But he'll not think about a Rolls Royce, right? He'll not think about something which is very big. What I want to tell you is that you can have that as well. Now, the problem with having only incremental goals is that, the very first, when you face the very first resistance, number one is you lose all the momentum and all the charge to carry on. But there is a third way of setting goals, which you will see most big entrepreneurs, most big, actors, athletes, they'll set goals which are fantasy. They want to have maybe, chains of stores. They want to have maybe aeroplanes. They want to have whatever they want. And these are 3% to 8% of the people who get all the great results of the world, my friend. Think about it. Why are they getting it? Because they are creating it. You are creating your world from within by your thoughts, by your vibration, and you can change it. The good point is everybody can have great abundance. Now, you can have all the reasons, in your mind because nobody taught you this, but you need to understand that your parents, if they did not taught you, is because they did not knew it. You cannot teach somebody something which you don't know because you also did not knew this till today. And I am someone who has experienced this. Only then I'm trying to help you. Now you can go and check it anywhere. It's written in our Vedas. It's written in, if you read Vedanta, if you read Swami Vivekananda, he'll tell you, he wrote, arise, awake and stop not till the goal is achieved, which means that you are right now in a sleep condition. You don't know your powers. And if you just wake up, you can have whatever you want. Now I'm telling you how to wake up. Now you think in pictures. Okay. So you need to create a picture of a dream life you want, my friend, right? So don't let your reasoning mind stop you. We'll come to that, how you will actually get there. We'll come to that. Don't worry. But we will get into details in coming steps for that. Right now, you have to create a picture for what is the dream life you want. There are no ceilings. Do not think about it. How is this possible or how is this not possible? Because you are God's highest form of creation. You've been creating your, reality till date. You can create further whatever you want, whatever you will believe in. The moment you say, I don't believe in this, guess what? You created that, right? Now, I would suggest that if you do not want to agree with me, that's fine. You do not need to disagree with me. Why don't you put this thing to test and create a very clear picture? Does that harm you in any which ways? So what I want you to do is that become really clear on the dream life you want. It's like God gave you that power. You are the hero of this movie, of your own life. So don't be just an extra in your own movie. Become a hero. That's what I want you to do. So have a very clear vision. What's the kind of house you want? And then what the kind of monthly EMIs or maybe rentals you need to give for that house. Just put a number in dollars or rupees, whatever, suits you. What's the kind of car you want? What's the kind of, EMI you need to give for that on a monthly basis? Where do you want to go on vacations? How do you spend time with children? How do you spend time with, buying jewelry, clothes you want to buy, food you want to spend on, furniture you want to spend on, and other things. Your list could go on and on. There are no ceilings, my friend. Completely no ceilings. It won't happen overnight. See, when you plant a seed, does this transforms into a tree overnight? It takes it times. There is always a gestation period between a thought and the reality. imagine, if you decide today that you want to become a doctor, you take, 8 years. But what we are talking about is now knowing that how to do it faster within 1 year or maybe 6 months or maybe 3 months. I'll show you a way, but you have to actually enter the code in the right place. So have a very clear vision. So this is your exercise. Okay. Once you do that, you have to come up with a number, which is the monthly number, which is your goal, which you need to actually have in order to live your dream life. Does that make sense? Because we need to give our subconscious mind a target which the mind has to hit. Does that make sense with you, right? So just drop me your comment if you're following along. So now before moving to the next step, now my friend, there is a pattern, people who win and people who lose. So people who lose, generally they will, after this video, they'll just go to the next video. But what I want you to do is that after this video, you take a break. Think about a clear picture, my friend, fall in love with that, because it's going to be your reality. And what I want you to do is, before you do this exercise and build everything, the next thing I want you to do after this is, below this, you will find a video, which is The Strangest Secret of the World by Earl Nightingale. Now, Earl talks about a strangest secret of this world, which was actually well known in 1960s. I want you to listen to that, my friend. That video is telling you something which is a secret about you. Obviously, we've covered a lot of stuff. And also, I want you to do me a favor. Can you do me a favor? Can you drop me in your comments your takeaways from this video? I want to know your learnings and also your thoughts about this video. What do you think about the information which has come? And if you want to give any comments about me, just do that. I'll read to them and I'll reply to you. Thank you for, watching this and actually helping me to help you change your life, my friend. So in the next step, once you do this, so, 2 action steps for you. First of all, you need to listen to The Strangest Secret of the World. You have to, build a picture of your dream life. How does that really look like? What do you really want? What do you really want? And then, in the next step, we'll talk about building your financial goal plan. But before that, just drop me your comments and I'll be happy to see you in the next step. Cheers. God bless. Love you. Bye-bye.